Here's the sound of Justin Quinnell in his flat in Bristol preparing his outsize camera.
Tape, paper, bin, action.
So this is the dark room, Justin?
The dark room. The fan won't be on forever.
There's not much room in here.
There's not much room, I'm afraid. No, it is a cosy dark room. Okay, this is the wheelie bin we're going to use. It's actually the next door neighbours, but keep quiet about that one. And I've cleaned it out. If you could just leap into that bath there.
Right. Is this purely for sort of space reasons?
This is for space reasons. This is. There we go. Okay, so we open up this bin, and then we get this roll of paper, which is a bit pricey, but it's about 10 metres by 5 foot. It costs about 65 quid, but you can get quite a few photos out of it. Okay.
Makes a bit of a noise, doesn't it?
Oh yes. It's a very tactile thing, this. I mean, a lot of photography is very pretty in a way. You have nice little machines that do everything you want, and you press a button and it goes click and it's okay. This is extremely sort of tactile and virtually performance art as well. There's so many bits in this which don't really relate to conventional photography, which is one of the reasons I like it, having been involved with conventional photography for so long. Okay, so we have our photographic paper here, and we tear the paper down, and it goes in this way round.
Is there anything else inside the wheelie bin? Is it lined with anything, or just basically bog standard wheelie bin?
Bog standard bin. With pinhole in one side, just at the front, sort of halfway up.
Presumably you have to make sure that your pinhole is already covered, or as soon as you take it through the door you've taken a photograph by mistake.
Yes, although the exposures are quite long, so I suppose we could do a photograph of the journey there and back, and end up with one big blur. There's a guy in Germany who went and did some pinhole cameras, made them out of boxes and just sent them to friends without any lens caps on, so he had exposures of the whole journey. And wherever they rested for a while, you had a picture of a window. There's some which are thrown off roofs of buildings, and so it's like a similar photograph as if somebody was jumping off a building. Not very nice. Now comes the sticking it down. We'll stick the top down, and we'll be ready to rush off and expand the boundaries of contemporary British photography. Mit wheelie bin.
So what's the project?
The Clifton Suspension Bridge.
How far away is it?
It's about 3 miles from here, so we'll get on a bus.
You can get that on a bus? That's all right, is it?
I was phoning up Badgerline and they've said yes, as long as I can get it on, it isn't an obstruction in the gangway. However, when it comes to being up to the discretion of the driver, we will have to see how happy he is towards the photographic art, really. He may be sort of like a little bit sort of anti that and more of a painter. We'll see. We'll see if he's a watercolourist and therefore not into sort of photography so much. Okay, so if we go left up the hill. Okay, here we go. Oh, over the pavement. Right.
While we're waiting for the bus, Justin, just tell me why you started this, the whole pinhole business.
I've been involved with photography for a long time, and normally conventional types of photography. And then I started getting involved with teaching, and one of the things is I teach over in Hartcliffe, and a lot of people there can't afford cameras of any sorts and stuff. So what we've got is making it sort of easy for kids to afford photography. So they've all got their sort of Coke cans and things, and I started making pinhole cameras out of Coke cans for them to use. And everyone starts on the same level, all creating images out of the same simple material. And there's 800,000 Coke cans thrown away every day, mostly by the kids I teach, I think. And so they got no excuses, and they can just load it up with paper and do black and white negatives. They can do contacts from them and start playing around with this depth of field business and distortions, and just get them interested in creating images, rather than, let's say, interested in straightforward photography, which a lot of which is designed to have the same photograph taken the same way, 5 foot off the ground. Oh dear, don't think much of his wheelie bin. Yeah, needs oiling.
The bus, this is it, number 9.
We have a number 9. Do you want to go on first? We might have a bit of trouble with this one. I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Hi, do you mind if I drag this on as well? I phoned up the Central Bus people, and they said it's okay if I could.
They say okay, that's not a problem.
Is that all right? Yeah.
They say that's okay.
Do we need to pay for the wheelie bin? Does it need a fare?
No, miss.
So how much is it?
Okay. 2 singles, miss?
Yeah. No, we'll have 2 returns to Clifton, please, the Clifton Bridge way.
Right, okay, that's £1.10 in total, please.
Right.
55 each. So nice to see you both. Okay.
Shall I try and get right to the back?
Oh, yeah, okay, sir, as you wish.
Right on.
I don't think it'll come right to the back. Maybe it's better to
Seem to
sit
be
there.
stuck.
Who's most obliging?
Yes, very good, very good.
Our destination was the terrace of the Avon Gorge Hotel and a magnificent view of the Clifton Suspension Bridge.
Peace at last.
Peace at last. No more romantic sound of bin wheel against concrete.
So, Justin, you've selected this table. Now, what's so good about this particular spot?
It's just to do with heights and being able to measure things up. So we deal with the foreground. With pinhole photography, everything's in focus from the pinhole to infinity. Normal photography, anything before 3 foot is out of focus. And so I play around with the foreground. It doesn't really matter what's in the foreground, as long as there's some things that are theoretically straight lines, like we have a table here with some planks of wood on. We've even got a menu, which should come out. We'll just have to see. We're not quite sure what's going to happen with these pictures. But I'm going to sit it up here with a pint of lager in front of it, and then just see what sort of like effects one can get on the distortions of the Clifton Suspension Bridge through a pint of lager. And then I shall, we shall see how it goes.
All right, well, do you want me to go and get the pint of lager?
How about getting a pint of lager and a pint of bitter? Because I don't like lager. It's just clearer to photograph through. And it's clouded up a bit, so it should be enough time, about 15-minute exposure for us to have a little bit of a food. And I'll start the exposure, just peel off the front here. Here we go, bit of a tear on the old gaffer tape, and bang, start the watch, and we're off.
Having exposed for 15 minutes and sunk the beer, it was back up to Justin's flat. Inevitably, he lives in the top flat, up 3 flights of narrow stairs.
Yeah, you've got bends in the stairs. That doesn't help either.
Yeah, so it makes it more of a challenge. Oh, there goes the paintwork.
And it all adds to the photographic adventure. So back to the bathroom, where Justin prepared to reveal another pinhole panorama.
So we're just washing the developer off right now. Okay, what we're going to do now is switch the light on. I'll carry on fixing, but we'll have a little look. So I'm just going to see what this does appear like.
Oh,
Bang.
wow.
Right, well, we've got our pint of beer.
Very clearly.
We have our wooden bench. We have a slightly dark top area. Can we see a Clifton Bridge there anywhere?
Yes, I can see Clifton Bridge. Look, there it is, just over the top of the glass of beer.
There we go. We've got a bit of a bridge anyway. There we are. So there it is, on top of my lager. Very well aimed, I think, somehow. So we have our...
And you have this wonderful curving perspective behind the glass of beer of the wooden struts on the table, kind of
and the
turning cool.
The curved film plane doing its stuff.
Well, I think that's wonderful.
And one giant step for photography. 5 foot by 4 foot's worth of contemporary British photography. And it'll add to my collection of photographs of the Clifton Suspension Bridge. So, all thanks to one of these things. So do try this at home, kids.
Not sure about that. Justin Quinnell and Dilly Barlow. Still, it's nice when a man has a hobby, isn't it?